What are mid caps? They have a lot more growth journey ahead of them. Let's look at the pros and cons of investing in mid caps. So you should expect great returns coming. Historically, multi-baggers. What do we mean by multi-baggers? What disadvantage or the con of investing in a mid-cap kind of a thing? Large caps account for almost 70-75% of the overall money that goes in. So mid-caps is risky, my friend. Let's see what mid-caps are all about. What are mid-caps? If companies were measured as human beings, then there could be three categories. Babies are ones which are newly born to maybe 10 years of age, and then 11 to 21 would be what we call the adolescent age, and then 21 above will be the adult age. Now if this is what humans are categorized as, then the adolescent age is what we call the mid-cap companies. The mid-cap companies are companies that are neither too young to be called babies, nor are they yet adults in that sense. And these are exciting companies and an exciting sector to look at. Let's see what mid-caps are all about. Now, SEBI defines, in the Indian context, mid-caps as 101st to 250 of the listed companies. So in terms of market capitalization, the first 100 companies qualify as large cap companies, both in the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. The next 101 to 250, that is the next 150 companies which are then classified as mid caps. Now, because they are not very large and they are still from 101 to 250, they have a lot more growth journey ahead of them. They're an exciting area to look at. There are lots of index funds that are based on the mid-cap segment. Now let's look at the pros and cons of investing in mid-caps. The first advantage of investing in mid-caps is that mid-caps provide explosive growth as compared to any other sector. They are companies that are already reasonably established but also have a long way to grow before they become large. So you should expect great returns coming to you. Historically, multi-baggers. What do we mean by multi-baggers? 1 becoming 4, 4 becoming 20, those kind of stuff happen more in the mid-cap space. So there's a good chance that if you have investments in mid-caps, you should find returns of that order. Right? Last is that mid-caps can provide long-term great wealth creation for investors if you have the patience to wait that period. So that's about mid-cap. Now, what is the disadvantage or the con of investing in a mid-cap kind of a segment? First up, they're very volatile. The investment community that invests into mid-caps tend to be very fickle. So there are times when the stock and the portfolios grow very, very fast, but at the slightest hint of trouble, the portfolio also diminishes quite drastically. So they are not for the fickle-hearted. Second, investors who are risk averse should stay away from mid-caps because mid-caps will be very volatile and one can kind of have a lot of variation in the portfolio, and investors who don't prefer risk may not like to be that space. Third, and the most important, is investors who want to get great returns out of mid-caps need to invest a certain period of time. Ideally, one needs to look at a 5 to 7 year and beyond if one wants to see great returns. So it's not something for somebody who has a very short kind of a perspective. That said, there are great wealth creation opportunities that are available in mid-caps. As an investor, one needs to create a portfolio in equity across a wide variety of baskets. So while large cap can still be a significant component of your portfolio, one needs to look at mid-caps as well. And mid-caps is where one will find these multi-baggers, as I was telling you. In the Nifty basket of securities, of the top 500 securities that are invested, large caps account for almost 70-75% of the overall money that goes in. So investors prefer large cap in a large sense. About 15-18% of the money goes towards mid cap. So it's a next preferred asset class for equity investors, and that's how it is. And there are a list of 150 companies as of August 31st that are available. These are great companies. These are by no means very, very small companies. These are great companies one can look at growing into the future. So mid caps is risky, my friend, but I think they cannot be ignored, and one needs to have a certain amount of mid cap in your portfolio. So just go ahead and make that jump for mid caps. Maybe it's a good idea to do a systematic investment plan or an SIP in mid cap funds. Look at a 5 to 10 year horizon, and believe me, you will have that wealthy portfolio at the end of the day.